Hey everybody, it's Shaman Sister Sin, and you're listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by BetterHelp.com and LittleShaman.org. That's me, Little Shaman. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that affects many relationships with narcissistic people, and that is that you cannot help the narcissistic person in your life. This comes up all the time because most narcissistic people are pretty dysfunctional in at least one big area of their lives and often in multiple big areas of their lives. The solutions to the problems often seem very obvious, and they often involve what appear to be simple changes to behavior or perspective. So it's natural to offer solutions when you care about somebody. However, this is usually a mistake. The problem is, narcissists don't want help. The only, quote, help these personalities will accept seems to be enabling them to continue on with negative, toxic, or harmful behavior toward themselves or to others. They don't want anything that includes them having to do anything, address anything, or change anything. They believe the problem is the outcome they're dealing with, not their actions that led to the outcome, and any suggestion that they had any part in the problem is immediately received as attacking and blaming them. No matter how kindly it's worded or how good your intentions might be, if you are suggesting they need to do something differently, you're telling them that they're wrong or that something is wrong with them. This causes them to dig their heels in, insisting that it's not true. Worse, they become defensive, which often leads to them attacking you for what looks like no reason. In many of these situations, it's like a switch gets flipped all of a sudden. Everything you're saying is suddenly harmful or stupid or bad, or it's being taken wrong. This personality has an either-or mentality. It's black and white only. I'm not bad because you're bad. I'm not wrong because you're wrong. There's no room for other perspectives here or different points of view. People are either right or they're wrong. And if you are right in this situation, or if there's even any validity whatsoever to anything you're saying, then the narcissist is wrong. This is intolerable for them, and many will fight tooth and nail to prove that that's not true. They don't even care about being right per se. They just want to be not wrong. These are not the same thing. In order for them to be not wrong, you have to be not right. This is what leads to those absurd arguments that narcissists are famous for about what words really mean and the correct way to wash a dish and stuff like that. The shame of being wrong is intolerable to pathologically narcissistic personalities, yes, even over things so stupid and so small. Wrong is wrong, and when you're wrong, you're stupid, worthless, incompetent garbage. In order to make sure you are not stupid, worthless, incompetent garbage, then, you have to make sure that you're never wrong. This sounds ridiculous, but think about the level of reaction you receive when suggesting that the narcissist in your life is wrong or even mistaken about something. Think about the way they treat you when you are wrong or when you make a mistake. This is obviously a person who believes being wrong in any way is some kind of unforgivable, horrific thing. You can see then the level of resistance that there would be to the idea that they should do something differently. Not only are you saying that they're wrong, but you're blaming them when they are very obviously the victim of circumstance and or other people's treachery. That's double plus ungood. The basic idea seems to be that if they need to change something, it's because they're bad or because they're wrong. Due to the toxic shame attached to being bad or being wrong, this is taken as horrific, horrible criticism. You are supposed to believe that they're perfect, love them, and remain in the relationship unconditionally no matter what they do, similar to the idealized love a parent is supposed to give to a child. For you to do otherwise is a betrayal, and it is a wrongdoing on a level that people who are not pathologically narcissistic probably cannot really understand or appreciate. It's a wound to their very core. The fact that this expectation is not just unreasonable and absurd, but actually impossible, does not seem to cross their minds or to matter. The fact that they're constantly testing you and intentionally pushing you away doesn't seem to matter either. You are now a betrayer, a deceiver, an enemy. You must be destroyed. You know what happens after that. This is very confusing and hurtful for people. It's extremely painful to have someone turn good intentions into hurtful or malicious motives. It's confusing to have somebody react as if you are attacking them when you're legitimately trying to help. But whether they ignore it, or deny it, or leave, or go silent, or rage, or whatever else they do, the reaction is almost always the same at its core: defensive. They feel directly attacked by the suggestion that they should change or do anything differently, because the idea that they need to do that means they're not perfect, and this triggers terrible shame. It means they have no value. If you're not perfect, you have no value. And that makes sense because the level of reaction or non reaction often seems too extreme to simply be the result of a person who doesn't want to be wrong or a person who doesn't want to admit that they have flaws. This is more than that. You are left wondering why they're so defensive or why are they so angry and upset. And any answers you get might not make any sense because they insist you said and think a bunch of things that you don't. Or you might be left wondering why someone has to attack and insult you so viciously when you're just trying to help. Or why a suggestion turns into a 4-hour screaming match. Or all of the above and more. The narcissist reaction here is the result of deep-seated, pervasive, and toxic shame that they carry with them always. This shame is a core feature of the narcissistic personality structure. It's not tied to reality or any objective sense of wrongdoing the way that normal shame is, and it isn't rational or logical. It just is. And its influence over a narcissist's thought processes and behaviors is enormous. Once you realize what you're seeing, you will not be able to understand how you ever missed it. It is that big of a part of this person's life and relationships, and it is that obvious. In some ways, we could say it is their motivation for everything. It's extremely important to understand, however, that though this often seems tragic to some people, and really it is, it's not something you can help this person with, and you will only receive punishment for trying. They don't want help, and you will not be considered kind or loving for attempting to help. You are an automatic enemy for even seeing any of these things, much less pointing them out and trying to address them. There are some situations where you just can't help somebody, and if we learn no other lessons from dealing with narcissists, we will definitely learn that one. Save your energy. Some people are exactly where they want to be, and even if you don't like it, all you can do is leave them there. Unless you want to sit there with them, of course, and that's up to you. Just remember, you absolutely do have a choice. I hope that clears a few things up for you. As always, I look forward to your comments, questions, and suggestions, so please keep those coming. I take appointments online, over the phone, via text, via messenger, via email, and through Skype worldwide. So if you're interested in speaking with me one-on-one, you can visit littleshaman.org to do that. I teach workshops, seminars, and clinics throughout the year, so if you're interested in seeing what we're running this month, you can visit littleshaman.org to do that. And if you are interested in joining our support group with access to exclusive content, multiple monthly meetings, and more, you can visit littleshaman.org to do that as well. You've been listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by betterhelp.com and littleshaman.org. That's me, Little Shaman. May the Great Spirit bless you. Have a beautiful day.